One position that is no doubt that Chicago Bears fans were hoping the Chicago Bears were going to address is edge. And they did so with signing Xavier Carlton out of Carolina. We're going to talk about what it could mean for the team, all and more, right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go to get into this content for today, y'all. And so the Chicago Bears have also signed Xavier Carlton out of Carolina. This guy's a senior, 6'6", 275 pounds as an undrafted free agent. And this guy has some really big potential upside here for the Chicago Bears. When you look at some of his strengths, right, is the fact that this is a guy who can play at edge. He can play edge. He can drop down to a little bit of linebacker as well. A lot of people expected him to rise up draft boards. He ends up going undrafted, but he has the length. He has really big upper body strength as well. He has the body profile and makeup that you typically look at for really good defensive ends. It doesn't mean he's going to necessarily make it, but this is a guy that when you look at his production over his last year in Carolina, he had 9 sacks in his last season, his senior year as a fifth-year senior. The 2 years before that, he had 4.5 sacks each of those 2 seasons. So we're looking at over his last 3 seasons in college football, the guy had 14 sacks over that. 19 sacks over that time. That is a nice number to look at. Now, there are some doubts about him, as there are with any undrafted free agents. There's some his repertoire, the advanced moves, he lacks that a little bit when it comes to pass rush, and that could hold him back at the next level, as well as he's really raw at sometimes. Despite having 9 sacks last year, he's considered to be a player that's really raw as a pass rusher, but as a run defender, this guy has excellent ability to use his strength and his length, and he has a really nice consistency as a run defender as well. He gets upfield pretty consistently in run defense as well, and he just has a really high football IQ when you look at it. He understands where the angles that the ball handler may take, and it really has helped him quite a bit when it comes to the pass game. So despite having 9 sacks, keep in mind, that's 9 sacks as a raw pass rusher. This guy offers a tremendous upside. Now, the question for him, and with all these undrafted free agents, I like to talk about the potential for them to make the roster. I really think it comes down to, does he come into camp and look a little bit better than Dominique Robinson? If he can do that, there could be a potential path there for him. 47 total tackles last year, 21 of those being solo. He also had a pass deflected in there. He had 2 passes deflected in 2023. This is a young, gifted defensive edge here. If you can get him with the right coaching staff and get him some of those advanced moves there, it could be really good. You look at him in one-on-one opportunities, he uses his wingspan really well on those one-on-one opportunities, and he comes off that 2-point stance really well. Also, he's going to have to put his hand in the dirt if he wants to play under Dennis Allen, right? That 3-point stance, and he does that pretty solidly as well, right? It's the pass rushing ability that is the biggest concern there. Like I said, somebody has 9 sacks. You like to think they're a well-rounded pass rusher, and he's really not. There's a lot of things he can still remain and look to work on his game when it comes down to that. But I think overall, what he's shown as far as an ability has been really good when it comes down to it. He does look to bull rush. He uses the bull rush really well. His body, his size, the strength that he has there. And he's shown a little bit of ability of some fluid actions there, but he's going to have to remain on that. Now, he has a really tight lower half when it comes down to it, which affects his get off and overall his flexibility as a defensive lineman. But that's why he's an undrafted free agent. None of these guys are perfect. And not even saying necessarily that these are guys that are going to necessarily, make the roster for sure, but it's about getting that opportunity. He was ranked as one of the best undrafted free agents out there after the draft, and the Chicago Bears were able to bring him in here to the building. Now, the question is can he contribute? One of the knocks on him by draft experts was he can contribute, but it's gonna have to be scheme specific, at least early on from him. He has the NFL frame, he has the NFL body, he has the strength when it comes down to that. But for him to be able to make an NFL team, it's going to have to come down to how much they can coach him up how much they can develop him. And as an undrafted free agent, I'm fine coming in training camp and see what he can bring. Like I said, the raw skill that he has, especially in the run defense, could be what could give him an angle to make the final roster for the Chicago Bears. Again, it's very highly unlikely, but there's a chance that that could be done. This guy has the body, he has the speed, and he can provide some really good depth at the edge position potentially with a higher upside to do more. So again, I really like Xavier Carlton and what he brings as far as raw skill wise. The question is, how much can Dennis Allen and his defensive line coach and his team really kind of develop out of Xavier Carlton? But he is a guy to look out for, and he could end up being a Chicago Bear. So well, he's a Chicago Bear now. He could end up, having a path, maybe being on the practice squad. We'll see how that goes. And if he shows some flashes, he may be able to stick around. Dominique Robinson is a candidate to be cut to save the Bears a little bit of money, and Xavier Carlton may be the guy to be able to come in and take that spot. So we'll see what that brings. But guys, if you want to follow us, you can do so at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.